we've got to do is opt out of a country that violates its own constitution. So I was at a loss. I went to Central America, Indians in Panama. You that Noriega, did you know that Noriega was Indian? That's why he's the only dictator ever go to prison. Think about that. Now, I was kind of giving up. Then all of a sudden it woke me up, man, slap across the face. Wait a minute. Wounded Knee was the spark that started the indigenous worldwide revolution. Prior to that time, we were a colonized people, beaten down, tramped on, and annihilated, being annihilated. But out of Wounded Knee was born the International Indian Treaty Council. And out of the International Indian Treaty Council, we fomented with the Six Nations people, the Iroquois Confederacy, and the UN, the very first international meeting of indigenous people anywhere in the world. And that was the Indian people of the Western Hemisphere. And we met in 1977 in Geneva. And we had nothing but old people. I swear, we got these old people. We didn't know how old they were. Some were over 100, some were in their 90s. We got them there. And then us militants from AIM. And the traditional people from the Six Nations. And then people from Mexico, the rest of Canada, from Panama, from South America, all over South America. They were there. Wow. That was 1977. In the ensuing years, what we started there at the UN culminated on the rights of indigenous people that the United Nations adopted. It took over 20 years, 25 years of protracted negotiations with the nations of the world to get the right language so that we could have our rights recognized around the world. And because of that awareness that we spawned, that spark from Wounded Knee, Rigoberta Menchú got the Nobel Peace Prize before Obama. And she didn't make war. And then you got Evo Morales and his people. Took over their legislature and the presidency of Bolivia. So the sophistication continues to grow. Still looking for that independent state. So because I have lawyer friends like my brother, and then intellects, my other brother, and others, we realize that the United States of America treaty issues are dead in the water. Your continued allowing of your government to violate the Constitution of the United States of America on a daily basis with us has caught up to you, hasn't it? Now your representatives could care less. Your Supreme Court is political instead of judicial. Your president is a quasi-king. It gets worse and worse. The illegal outlaw FBI now the entire secret services of the United States government. You've lost all your individual rights. You're the new Indians. You're the new Indians of America. Welcome aboard. But you see, the ultimate, so I looked at the United States of America, I looked at its population, I realized no help's coming from there. So what we've got to do is opt out of a country that violates its own constitution. So what we've got to do is opt out of a country that violates its own constitution. So what we've got to do is opt out of a country that violates its own constitution. So what we've got to do is opt out of a country that violates its own constitution. So on December 17th, 2007, I led a delegation to D.C., an AIM delegation of Oglalas, Minikojus, Cinnabon, Yankton, Brule, Minikoju, Sichanga. And we went and withdrew from our treaties with the United States, which means that legally we return to the legal, internationally validated position we held before the signing of the treaties. In other words, we're a free and independent nation. Some of you may remember when I returned back with that delegation, I was roundly condemned in the South Dakota press by all the colonial people who, the colonized tribal representatives. They said I wasn't elected. But you elect an entire people to get your point? So we devised a strategy. I ran on the independence ticket at Pioneer. I got 45% of the vote. That's more than the 13% I thought I represented. So you see, now I've got some overtures from white South Dakotans up around the Aberdeen area that want to meet with me. They see the way the country's going, and they want to find out about the ROL, the Republic of Dakota. Well, me and my brothers, we're taking it slow and easy. We have a local strategy, we have a national strategy, and we have an international strategy. And we're going about it the best way we can, slow and sure. So that's what AIM has not only given to me and my people, but AIM is offering it to you. Return to a constitutional republic. And believe me, we'll all get along. Respect for your relatives' visions. That's the axiom indigenous people live by. Respect for your relatives' vision. And we are related to trees, bees, everything. The earth, the universe. Take the time out to know your neighbor like you are at this symposium.